talking you through wall stalk, you're going to need something to put your foot on that can give you a 90-degree angle at your hip and your knee and your foot, and a piece of wall like this that you're going to stand on. You're not going to see my feet in a minute, so I want to show you what the position is going to be like from the side. 90 degree from the hip out to the knee, and then knee, when you're stood against the wall, should look like that. And your feet are going to be hip width distance apart, slightly pigeon-toed for me. That means, and probably for you as well, because you want the straight line of your outer foot in a straight line, not the middle bits. And you need your knees and your ankles all in alignment with your shoulders and your hips. So the box needs to be in a position where you can put your foot on and create that 90 degrees from the knee to the foot. So for me, that's perfect. Get into position. Okay, now I'm going to raise my right leg. It doesn't matter what leg you start with because you're going to swap over and do the same. But I'm going to start with my right leg. I'm going to raise it on top of the box whilst not moving my left leg or foot whatsoever. Because sometimes your standing leg will want to do some really funky things and move any other way, so it can support you, and we don't want that. So I'm going to raise up like that and get into position, making sure my knee isn't moving on my standing leg. And for me, I've got a hip hike on my right hand side, so I'm always up. So here's my hip here. I'm going to actively push it down while not flexing my torso. So I'm not going to go left with my torso. Instead, I'm going to push that hip down so I'm even. And I'm going to constantly keep that active without rotating like that. Okay, so if you can, on your standing leg, if you can do a slight rotation of your pelvis anteriorly, so push it forward, and that will really help stretch out that standing leg's hip flexor. Just going to wiggle my foot forward a little bit. This raised foot, you shouldn't really be putting lots of weight on it. It's just there for support. Your standing leg should be doing all of the work, stretching off that hip flexor, whilst making sure that the pesky hip here doesn't hike up whilst you're doing all of the movements. It's quite a hard exercise, this, because you've got quite a lot to remember. Your hip can hike, your torso can go left and right, normally to the side that you're working on the most, and your knee can want to do some really funky things too. So you need to try and keep that knee facing forward. For me, this is really difficult because I've got an issue with my right hip and something going on with my left knee. Okay, so all of the weight should be down on the standing leg, push through with your foot, the weight evenly distributed in that foot. Okay, and after you've done 3 minutes, we are going to swap over. So exactly the same again. Standing leg is going to be my right leg. Need to keep that nice and still. Okay. This is my easier side, this one. Make sure I am all in alignment. Okay. Pushing forward into an anterior pelvic tilt. And with this leg, I hardly feel anything. But I still stretch it off because at the end of the day, I want them all even. If I concentrate on one side for more length of time, it's just going to be, I'm going to be eternally uneven, which is what I don't want. I want to be even throughout my body, perfectly aligned. Okay, pushing through on that standing foot so that my weight is distributed all through the foot and not in the heels, not in the toes. It helps if you grind your big toe down as well. Okay, and remember to concentrate on the hip hike. Push it down. Just constantly think, is my torso trying to do things? Is my hip trying to do things? Is my standing leg, standing knee trying to do something? It really helps if you can maybe video yourself doing this or stand in front of a mirror, because this is a really hard one, and your body's quite good at making you think that you're doing it in the correct way, but only until you look at yourself doing it in a video or a mirror can you see where your body is cheating. Enjoy the stretch.